Hello, this is John, Vintage Fisherman. Today I got one on the bench I've never done. You say, well, John, you have done a Ambassador 7000. Well, I have, but I've never done a 7000 with Syncro drag. So what this does is when you're fighting a fish, the drag goes all the way tight. It's kind of like it goes to wherever your preset is, okay? It's kind of like a fighting drag on, or your strike position on a lever drag. And then if your fish is doing something crazy and you want it to run a little bit, you can back off and let it run. And then as you go back to crank, it pulls back in to wherever you got your preset at. So I've never taken one of these reels apart. This could be interesting. I'm going to have to probably come back and watch this video. Actually, my next two reels I'm going to do are new to me. So we'll start out by taking that cap off of there. That looks like something that would get lost pretty easily. Now, there's a snap ring under there, but how in the world do you get to it? Huh. I have a clue. Does this come all the way off? I doubt it. Nope. Well, see, we're already in a dilemma. I've got special screwdrivers, but they won't fit that. This video may stop where it starts. Well, you can't take something apart that you can't get apart. Huh. I don't have a screwdriver that will work with that, so. Doesn't push down, I see. Well. I want to say it's got a thread on and off of there, but how? There it goes. All right. Okay, so that's your handle nut. Got a O-ring underneath it. Now I can get to the snap ring. Try not to lose it. All right, snap ring off. Now we can take the drag star off. This is different from most reels. The star is underneath the handle, you know. And, this one's the exact opposite. So we need to pay real close attention to what goes where. And I'm going to lay it out. And I'm going to watch this video probably 200 times before I put it back together and make sure I do it right. There's a washer up under there. And the rest of that is one piece. Now, I believe this is just a little dust cover, but let's take it off anyway. Yes, just a dust cover. Then you've got, on your handle, you've got these washers. Concave, convex, opposing. Your handle comes out. Look at that. That's nifty. And there's where your fighting drag is. Okay. Take the side plate off. They call this the drive side of the wheel. I do plan on using this reel. Okay, so whoever had this reel wasn't casting with it. The flyweights are no longer on the spool. So that's okay. And I really don't see any need taking this down any further. So we'll let the spool sit right there. And we'll come back to this. Oh, this. Yeah, this sat up under here. Yep. Okay. This is a little clicker that I'll let fall out, but it sits up under there like that. Thank goodness I saw that before I got too far ahead of myself. Okay. That's what makes that clicking sound. This ribbed piece here clicks on that. Okay. All right, let's take the bait clicker side, the palm side of the reel part. This reel's been used and slightly abused, but in true Ambassador fashion, it's still getting the job done. These things are so freaking tough. These Syncro drags, I don't know if they weren't popular or what, but you don't see many of them. If you do see them, they're not very expensive. So that kind of tells me there might have been some issues with them over the years. This frame is slightly bent. Racked pretty good, actually. I'm going to try to straighten it up. Like it's racked. And about every which way you can. This is bent. I noticed it when I got the reel in. It was she's had a hard life, you know. This is bent. Somebody has really got a hold of a big fish on this thing, and we'll come back to that. Okay, so this is one of the newer style that has a little clips. We're going to take this apart because I want to clean that shaft really good. This thing's pretty gunky. So what you do is put a little bit of pressure under it. I might have to use 5 hands here. I only have 2, so let's put a little bit of pressure up under this. We're going to pop pins, putting pressure under it. It'll eventually pop. There we go. Now we got some pressure on it. There we go. See, it just kind of comes off here. That's how I do it. I can clean the bait clicker all up okay. I'm not too worried about that. Let's see what the bearing looks like. Okay, over here on this side, you've got 2 shims. They are always a pain, aren't they? Best thing to do is take a really sharp X-Acto knife. Don't cut yourself. Just kind of get a hold of them. Drop them out. Okay. Now down here on the bearing, Put your finger over the end of this and you can get a hold of this little retainer. Keep your finger over it so you don't let that retainer fly across the room. And there's your bearing, and I'll probably replace that. Should have some of those in stock. We'll see. This whole cover is slightly warped. It's crazy how it kind of worked with the frame, but like I said, this reel's had a rough life. I bought this reel for myself for my birthday. I saw it on the eBay and thought, that's a cool reel. It's different. Of course, you can't tell by pictures the shape of a reel that's in. So I go by the fact I can probably fix any damn thing. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to fix any damn thing. Whew, dirty. The dirtiest part of any Ambassador or any level line reel is the level line. Now you can get the level line with the two bearings in it. A little bit pricey. That reel, look how bent that is. I don't know if you can see that through the camera or not, but this whole end of this reel is bent out of alignment. So we're going to line it all back up and hopefully it runs smooth. It was running fairly smooth to be bent. Just a testament to how tough these old reels are. You can see how bent that is. This whole end of this reel is bent. Okay. We'll clean that up later. Let's take a look at this. 2 screws takes your brake plate apart. This will be the part of the reel that I really need to pay attention to. I think it's going to be very, very different. We'll see. I also think my drag's going to be smoked, and I don't have any drag. I don't think I have any drag washers for this. Come on. Okay. We'll set this down for a minute. Over on this side, spool tension knob comes off. You've got shims in there, and then you've got a bearing. That bearing is probably going to get replaced too. That is cover. These 2 shims, maybe 3. That one's got 3. That's for spool tension. They come out of there. Clean that up. Now, pay close attention. This is all of your drag, Syncro drag. You've got this press plate. Let's set it over here. That fiber washer, that eared washer, fiber washer. Now, when I just did that, I knocked the anti-reverse pawl off, but we'll look at that in just a second. Okay, I may have drags for this, actually. They look like your standard 7,000 drag once you get into it. That last drag washer is down in there pretty good. There we go. Sometimes you got to use that little bitty point off of a good knife to get into things. And that's the gear. You see how it's laid out there? That's important. And then you got your other drag. You're under the gear drag. And in this guy, is under there. I'm putting everything in order. Okay. Shaft comes off. This is all one piece. It comes off of that. There is a washer underneath that, a shim, I should say. And also your anti-reverse dog rode right in there. And then pinion had already found its way out. It was just kind of hanging around there. All this is going to get cleaned by hand. Okay. I'm not going to pull all these different springs off. We'll clean it by hand. It's going to look like brand spanking new. So, that's it. That's the reel. Going to clean it up. When I come back, we're going to put this thing together with some new bearings, possibly some new drag washers. I have a feeling the thickness of these drag washers is very important. These do not look smoked, okay? When I say smoked, I mean where somebody has hooked a big fish and fought it. So I think I'll be okay with this if I don't have drag washers. So, all right, well, I'm going to clean things up. I will be back. Hey, I'm back. I've got this Ambassadeur 7000 Syncro drag put back together. So, I got a few upgrades for, a couple of upgrades. I've got upgraded drag, had it in stock, Carbon Tex. I had bearings in stock. These are Abex 7 sealed. I do plan on using this reel for saltwater. So, with all that said, I pretty much got everything I need for this reel. I do not have the centrifugal weights. I'll order those at a later date and put them in. They're pretty easy to put in. Let's put a reel together. It wasn't as complicated as I originally thought it might be. I've already lubricated the brake plate I use, Ballistol. It will dry. It will dry to like a gel. Got this stuff all over me now, but it won't dry up. Put that gear in there. Next is shim. Then we're going to put anti-reverse dog. Needs to be bent just a little bit. You want to pinch those in, but not squeeze them down too far. Should ride on there pretty good. Go on and they'll slide right on top of there like that. See how that went in? Now you've got this piece here was in upside down. And this is where we start putting the new drag in. And goes on there like that. And that will go in there. And I'll lubricate the gears after I get the drag together. So we've replaced that one. This one replaces that. It's the very first one in there. It's got the biggest hole in the center of it, the biggest diameter hole. See the difference in them? One with the largest hole goes in first. Okay. Then you've got feed washer. And one of the drag bushing or drag washers with smaller hole. And then your tooth washer or eared washer. And then your last drag washer. This, oops, didn't need that. This goes in like that. I've replaced all those, and we're going to put some grease on the gears. Try not to, well, I did it. Damn it, I did it. I was going to say try not to let the anti-reverse dog slip off, but I did it. Always do. You put your finger right there so when you turn this gear, it doesn't cause it to slide off of the hog. And there you go. Don't see anything else that went down in there. These were all above. Cool. Let's put some grease in there. Take our cover, put it on. 2 screws in the cover. Okay. Put a bearing in. There is no retainer on the bearing on this side. And you've got 3 shims. Drop of oil. Oil. I changed the shims around. I don't put the same one out that was originally there. I'll take one that hadn't even been to the outside and put it there. A little bit of grease on those threads. Put your, you can go ahead and turn it all the way down. It's going to be pretty much all the way down. You don't need to tighten it. Now, I hear, this goes on next. Make sure I'm doing this right. Give it a little bit of grease. Okay. Then these were out here and they go opposing each other. Actually, it goes like this. This went first. Then here they went opposing each other. And oh, I don't have the drag over here. Hang on. I actually have that wrong. Got and left the drag in. No, I got it right. There's a O-ring that goes down in there, which I did not realize was there until just this second. This goes on like this. So let's go with a little bit of grease. That's not correct. I got it upside down. I do believe it goes like this. So remember, I had to have this in there with this clip. Okay. Just a little momentary moment of insanity there. It's a new reel to me, so it's got that little clicker in there. Remember, this goes in this. Should start clicking as it goes in there. Goes. Run that all the way down. Then it got this washer in there. Heat washer. And don't forget your E-clip. And last, your nut. Put a little bit of grease in there. Now the handle nut, I don't really have any way of getting a hold of that. Well, I guess I kind of do. I could take these pliers here and turn them into a spanner wrench. A little rudimentary here. I think that's tight enough. And then the cap. Okay. Okay, we'll set that aside and we'll check it out once I get the rest of the reel built. Next is the level line. You're going to put level line inside the tube. Run the tube all the way across. Two little dog ears. Go in just like that. And then the tube is in there, okay? We'll take, oh, there it is. Get some good oil on this. And that can go in. And then you can put your retainer in. Retainer goes in just like that. Now, let's use a little bit of oil. I've gotten really used to this Dad's Old Tackle oil. I'll probably order some more here pretty soon. I'm using it pretty fast. If that pawl doesn't set down in the worm gear, just keep spinning it and it will eventually just slide right in there. Since this is going to be using salt water, I'm going to give give too much. Give the cap a little bit of grease. So it doesn't. Not a common problem on these to get stuck, but you got all that salt water dripping right down into that thing. So, yeah, check your level line out, make sure it's doing what it should do. A little oil up in here, a little oil on there, a little oil on there. Okay, that side of the reel is built, or the level line's built. Okay, now we've got pretty simple over here. Your gear just slides down and pops in place. No damage there to that to get it out. Let's oil up all of the bait clicker. Flip it over. We got a bearing. You got a bearing retainer. Just snaps in like that. And then your adjuster. You got a little bit of oil, shim, whatever you want to call it, spacer, shim, a little bit of oil. We'll put some grease on those threads. Okay. All right. A little grease in the thread in the studs here. Is on like that. Okay. And then your spool. You could put just a little bit of oil on those, on that gear, let it spread around a little bit on the teeth. Put your spool in. Okay. And really all left to do is to put the brake plate drive side on, a little bit of grease on those threads. We'll put a little bit of oil on this shaft because that pinion gear rides up and down that, okay? And this is going to go on like this. There's no centrifugal weights to deal with. Hopefully it's going to work okay. I've never done one of these, so let's hope I got it back together right. Find out here in just a second, won't we? This reel's had a hard life, but the drags didn't look bad. The bearings were still usable, but I decided, since I had bearings in stock, to go ahead and upgrade. Yep, that's working. Yep, drag's working as it should. Let's get that cowls mixed around on that drag washer really good. I like it. I got the spool way too tight. It's not centered either. This is about to take this one back. I don't know too crazy about that, but there we go. Put that up. If I run this side all the way down, spool's just a little bit off center, which is going to cause it to stack lines. So I have to do a little work there, but it's actuating as it should. All right, well, there it is. My first Syncro drag Ambassador 7000. I do have plans for this reel. I'm not going to divulge that just yet because I can't decide if I'm going to use it for drum fishing or use it for king mackerel. Maybe use it for a fighting reel just for the fun of it. Got plenty of capacity for either one. Kind of like that feature right there. It might be annoying to some, but I kind of like it. There it is. Isn't that something? Beautiful reel. This is John Vintage Fisherman. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel. And I will be back with more content. See you later.